Hello, my name is Andrew Collins and I'm a Telly addict. There's enough misery in the world without having to watch it on TV. So let's have a laugh. Let's focus this week on 4 new comedies, 3 brand new, 1 returning for its 3rd season. First up, Uncle on BBC 3.
I miss you, Gwen. I can't go on without you, and that's why I've decided to kill myself.
Alright, so it starts with Guy Garvey planning to commit suicide, but stick with it. Having lost Birds of a Feather to ITV, Auntie scores one back by stealing Uncle from Channel 4, who aired the pilot at the end of 2012. She stole well. The uncle of the title is played by Nick Helm, a much fancied and award-nominated force of nature stand-up and musician who, in this remake of the pilot, picks up his 11-year-old nephew from school, and that's where the reluctantly avuncular fun begins. We used to sing losers in British sitcoms, but they're rarely as lost as Andy. Whether it's a US sitcom, having to look after his precocious nephew when he can barely look after himself would teach him important lessons, and there'd be a tear-jerking ending. But it's not.
Hi, Uncle Andy. Thanks for coming to pick me up. I'm sure you've got lots of more important things to be getting on with.
Why couldn't Mum pick me up?
Because she's dead. I've come to take you to identify the body.
That's not funny.
Well, I'm only a chauffeur, I'm not a bloody comedian.
Actually, there is a tear-jerking ending, but thanks to some sophisticated plotting and writing by relative newcomer Oliver Refson and a bearable performance from Elliot Speller-Gillett, Uncle does manage to reveal a bit of heart, but without losing its cool. I was rather taken by this scene between nephew Errol and the cross-dressing gay club-owning dad of Uncle Andy's ex, played by the great Con O'Neill.
How did your parents meet?
Their pharmacist introduced them. His name was Eclipse. Are you married?
No. I used to be.
To Gwen's mum.
Mm-hmm.
She divorced you because you dress like a lady.
You ask a lot of
You
questions.
skip a lot of questions.
Oh, and although Helm doesn't write it, he's allowed to do a song of his own in the middle, which deliberately sabotages the nuanced comedy-drama mood.
When do you remember when we were more than friends? Do you remember when? Every time that you get cold, I put my coat around your shoulder.
He's very good at songs, but they serve no purpose in what is one of the first promising new comedies of the year. Now, the last time we saw a sitcom burst into song, it was one of the promising new comedies of last year.
I'm mad and you'll get what comes to you. That sounds harsh, but it pays to tell the truth.
That was Toast of London on Channel 4, the creation of Matt Berry, who, funnily enough, and he is always funny enough, now co-stars in someone else's creation on BBC 2. House of Fools is Reeves and Mortimer attempting to do what they did for the variety show, the sketch show and the quiz show for the sitcom. Naturally, it also contains musical numbers.
Look at my glove, I think I'm in love with my medieval gauntlet. I'm happy to say that today, all day, I'll stride around the flat and flaunt it.
The shared understanding is that Vic and Bob break all the rules, but they've been doing this for over 20 years and the lack of rules has inevitably hardened into a set of rules. I love them, I've always loved them, but it took me a while to warm to this one.
You're staying there, are you? Yeah, I want to see your little balls as they pass over and enjoy yourself for once.
There is a basic premise, which is that Vic lives with Bob and Bob wants Vic to leave, but as a trampette to wackiness, the studio set felt self-limiting and claustrophobic. I was disturbed by Bob's casual attire and the smut seemed beneath them.
It won't stay up!
Well, get a teaspoon, stick it up the hole and ram it home.
What's always joyous about Vic and Bob is their lack of irony. So when they're doing a misunderstanding gag in which Bob puts things up Vic's bottom, it won't be a sarcastic comment on broad 70s humour. It'll be broad 70s humour. If in doubt, bring on the berry.
I travel this land, removing my pants while making love to African ladies.
Now I'm laughing. Vic and Bob's surreal freewheeling majesty doesn't just pop out of their mouths, it takes work and planning and, yes, writing. The underrated Catterick was a good example of what they can do with narrative form. And to be fair, some of the writing in House of Fools displayed care and attention.
I happen to know she enjoys Conan the Barbarian, which is on at 2:30.
Do you know what channel, Dave?
It's far down the menu near the nines. Amongst the fishing shit, but not as far as the Welsh stuff.
I'll give it another spin because it's them, but it wasn't the revolution I was expecting. Talking of expectations, they were also unnaturally high for this.
This job is eating me alive. I can't breathe anymore. Spent all these years trying to be the good guy, the man in the white hat. I'm not becoming like them. I am them.
Hey, what are you doing, weirdo?
I'm doing the best speech from Donnie Brasco.
This is Copcom Brooklyn Nine-Nine from Fox, already the recipient of 2 Golden Globes and showing here on E4. It comes from one of the creators of Parks and Rec, and star Andy Samberg seems to have come to own Saturday Night Live, whatever that is. Ergo, it's super cool.
Tell me about your detective squad.
Well, Scully, Hitchcock, and Daniels. They're pretty much worthless, but they make good coffee.
Copy that.
Ah, what a simple device. New Captain Andre Brower from Homicide arrives at the made-up 99th Precinct, and the leader of the detective squad, Terry Crews from Everybody Hates Chris, introduces the team.
Charles Boyle. He's a grinder. Not the most brilliant detective, but he works harder than anyone else. He's not physically gifted.
Oh man, my muffin. Ah! Oh, my head! My muffin in my head, and I stepped on my muffin in my head, and my muffin...
And so on. Joe Latrulio on superb slapstick duty there. But the star of the show is Samberg's man-child, who's higher functioning than Nick Helm's Andy in that he's got a gun and he's capable of using it.
Kill and scene. NYPD, everyone down! Ma'am, if you could just get down or ignore me and continue shopping. We'll get the door!
On it!
I guess this is why they get to call it an action comedy.
I'm getting mad! It's a waste of manchego!
How are you still here?
It's fast and funny and reminds me of Spin City, except with the competence to throw in skittish cutaways.
In 1981, he caught the Disco Strangler.
It's over, Disco Man. Put down the yo-yo and back away from the girl.
With all due respect, sir, why'd it take you so long to get your first command?
Because I'm gay.
Seriously?
I'm surprised you didn't know. I don't try to hide it.
It being a network show, there are 21 episodes still to go. HBO's Girls, being a cable show, only runs to 11, but boy am I glad to have it back on Sky Atlantic.
Do you think that 16 tacos is enough for 4 people? If they also get a big bucket of ice cream? Maybe I'll get 2 buckets of ice cream because Marnie's actually someone who eats more ice cream.
I don't want to do this.
Do what? Have dinner?
Have your friends over. I don't want to.
Okay, well, you agreed to it last week.
Yeah, because I didn't think it would actually happen.
Ah, such truth. Now that we've all got over the fact that it's about middle-class New Yorkers complaining about a bagel, I hope we can agree with the observation made in Nathan Heller's Vogue feature that says Lena Dunham is to comic television what Bob Dylan was to 60s folk.
But wouldn't you rather go to the taco and ice cream shop with your friends and come back and find me in a good mood rather than invade our place and get me all pissed?
No. No, I wouldn't.
I don't make you hang out with any of my friends.
You don't have any friends.
That's just fucking rude.
So's telling me you hate my friends like an hour before they're supposed to walk through our door.
I hate your friends. I'm just not interested in anything they have to say.
If you're following it, you'll know that Dunham's alter ego, Hannah, is now cohabiting with goofy former friend with benefits, Adam, exquisitely played by Adam Driver. But everybody still seems to be in therapy, unless they're Jemima Kirk's Jessa, who's in rehab.
This guy's crying because a froyo opened up on his block. He's trying to think of, like, the saddest thing he can think of. And it's not that sad.
She's a bitch.
Mindy, try and stay in your experience.
She's a bitch. That's my experience.
It's good.
In Rehab with Kim Gordon of Sonic Youth, it's that kind of show. In fact, it's his own kind of show and has reprogrammed what sitcom can do, partly because of this.
How old do you have to be to rent a car?
But a great TV comedy doesn't have to be therapy. It can be written by one person and acted by another. To pluck an example out of the air, Uncle, which is a character piece that aims higher than just tickling ribs. There's a place for punchline comedy too. What makes a great comedy great is a magic ingredient of originality. It can be a bit of this.
Be gentle.
Or it can be a bit of this. Or it can be dialogue that doesn't even care if it gets to within sniffing distance of an actual joke.
And what does he make out of the paper mache?
Is that important for you to know?
It could be. It could be very important.
Well, I thought the session was more about me.
Do you ever make a house? Dogs? Well, if you don't want to talk about it, perfectly fine.
Studio, single camera, spoof, meta-sitcom, comedy, drama, it takes all sorts to finish off on a really general note. I'm just glad that with the 15-year-old birds of a feather and the 38-year-old open all hours hoovering up audiences, there's something new to laugh at. Your moment of comedy zen comes from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and a cameo from Portlandia's Fred Armisen that should be done for theft.
Have you seen this man before? He was shot last night.
Oh, thank you.
No, sir, that's ours. We need that.
And he kept it.